This week's episode is sponsored by Sand Dollar Boat Rentals.
Affordable, fun, and safe boat rentals throughout Florida.
Any tattoos?
Hey, no tattoos.
All right.
Navy guy without any tattoos. That used to be
We thought you had some big anchor somewhere.
Something, yeah, you
Which
know.
says mom underneath it,
That's
right?
right. All right. All right, guys, welcome. It's Tim and myself, Chris Schwarz. We are the local owners of White Whale Real Estate. We're very excited to do our monthly spotlight video here. We've got a very special guest with us, Mr. Mayor Fred Cleveland. We're so excited to have you here on board with us, and thanks for being out with us today.
Chris, Tim, thank you so much. Great to be here. Great to be on the water here in one of the best cities in the world, right here in New Smyrna.
Stunning New Smyrna Beach, Florida. So guys, what we want to do today is a spin on a roundtable interview with the mayor for you to be able to get to know him a little bit better, learn about his street cred, and for you to be able to say hi to him when you see him walking down the street.
Get a little bit more of a personal feel. And you're right, it's beautiful out today. We couldn't ask for better weather. It's beginning of February in New Smyrna Beach. I don't know anywhere else I'd rather be either.
80 and sunny, baby.
Yeah. So I'll start it off, Fred, with the first question is, how is your first quarter going in office? Have any of the residents made you want to run for the hills yet, or what?
No, we have the most caring and giving citizens here, both the businesses and the residents. It's been a joy. What I'm inspired by is the number of folks who have reached out and said, how can I help? I want to be part of the program. What can I do? I see problems here and I have ideas. Many come with problems, some come with problems and solutions. I like the latter.
Yeah, us as well, exactly. And you're right, it's just such a good community that we have with everybody wanting to be involved and help and do as much as we can just to help out our other citizens here in New Smyrna Beach. So I'm with you on that.
So just kind of talking about that, switching a little bit on you, you've got a MBA in logistics and a PhD in business with a focus on organizational behavior. What is all that? Did you have a passion for it, and why did you choose those degrees, and how is that helping you be mayor of New Smyrna?
Life is simple as an undergrad. You have the credentials to go forth and perform business or research. When you get an advanced degree, and certainly a terminal degree like a PhD or a doctorate in anything, you really understand how to do scientific research and not violate any of the principles. Where that helps in city government is you can see through the smoke screens of strongly held opinions and look for the logic, the science, and the math behind what solutions work and what solutions don't work.
Excellent. So it just allows you to be more objective about the situation and less emotional.
It really does.
Okay.
I've got plenty of emotion, but I try to back it up with the science, math, and logic that makes sense.
Fantastic.
It's awesome. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And then as far as what made you run for office and why did you choose New Smyrna Beach? Other than this, obviously.
It's a defect I'm wired with. It's called service.
Oh.
I spent 30 years in the United States Navy defending our shores. We come home to New Smyrna Beach, and I felt like, Amy and I both felt like we were riding on the coattails of others that did great work to make this town so special. So we wanted to give back. So this is our chance for a season to give back to the town we love so much.
Awesome.
Awesome. Great. So talking about the town and you coming into mayoralship, if you will.
Is that the word?
I
Mayoral?
want to say it.
I think
It
it's a great
feels
word. I think we should go with it
sophisticated
either
and
way. I don't
smart,
know.
So we'll look it up later. So if not, Urban Dictionary, here we come.
Yeah.
Do you see any organizational changes that are necessary in New Smyrna for New Smyrna to become its best?
It's an interesting proposition. For those of you who may not know the structure, the chief executive officer for our city is the city manager, Khalid Rashadat, and he runs the strategic and the day-to-day operations of our 300 employee city. The commission, comprised of 4 commissioners and the mayor, are equally weighted with equal authority to make things happen for our city. The mayor is the figurehead, ceremonial lead of that, and so I take that position seriously, but I never take myself seriously. So structurally, I think we're positioned perfectly to make a big difference for the residents here. Specifically, the city manager, Colin, has been in place for 33 years of total service here to the city. Our biggest job going forward, this commission will have the pleasure and the dubious distinction of finding his successor. That person will have impact on the city for decades.
Right.
So it's very important that we do our due diligence and search the world to find someone that will be the proper person with the proper discipline, the proper mix of personal talent with organizational rigor and with vision to have the city look to the future so things don't happen to us. We make things happen that we want as citizens to protect the character of our coastal community while being on the world stage and no longer being a little secret.
Right, absolutely. And I think that's really a great point, that we want to be proactive rather than being reactive. And I'm going to jump ahead of you here because I feel like this flows.
Especially when it comes to the future of our city,
Yeah.
you definitely want to be proactive as opposed to reactive.
For sure.
And it sounds like some very big shoes to fill.
So with that, I'm jumping ahead of you just because of the flow of this. What do you think is right now your biggest challenge as being the mayor so far?
So when you run for mayor in November and don't expect anything but your agenda to be put forth, you're running on foolishness. We had 2 hurricanes that none of us expected. We all had plans. The commission and I had plans for the future. We got dealt a serious blow, perhaps the worst New Smyrna's seen in decades, and we are on that as our #1 project. Right alongside that are the traditional issues that face any small blooming town or city. We want to control how big, how fast, and what comes to New Smyrna as best we can. The beauty of living in America, anybody can live anywhere they want. They don't need a permission slip. People have found out about New Smyrna. We're growing leaps and bounds. How we grow is what the commission is all about. What we do, what we put in place to make sure it's the kind of growth that we're prepared for is important. Today, our infrastructure is underwhelming to the daily population growth we're seeing. We've got to catch up.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that logistics MBA is coming in quite handy right now.
You got it exactly right. I've said you can replace the politicians, you can replace the city employees, but until you change the process, you're going to get the same result.
Exactly.
So we have to, our staff does a great job tending to the day-to-day activities. It's my hope that we will lift our eyes to the future and look at things before they get to us and make the appropriate adjustments to our city ordinances, our policies and procedures to adjust for New Smyrna 2023 and beyond, honoring the past, but looking to the future with eyes wide open. Not any delusions of we're still a small little town that nobody knows about.
We don't want to be an ostrich and keep our head in the sand.
No, the cat is out of the bag when it comes to New Smyrna. Everybody knows about it, and if they don't, they will soon enough. So you're right, it's not about the growth, it's about doing it the right way and the best way to approach it.
Tim, people came here for a reason. Nobody was forced to come to New Smyrna.
No.
They came here for the coastal character that we have. They came here for the neighborliness that you see in our residents. They came here for the small local businesses. We can't afford to lose that. That specific character is something that sets us apart from, and I won't use any names, our neighbors to the north and our neighbors to the south. We have got to keep that intact.
Exactly. So if you had to choose, I mean, what's your biggest objective over the next 2 years in office?
I want to do things that help protect the character that we've just talked about. I want to do things with our commission that attract the right type of businesses.
Of course.
I want to make sure that we are not doing things to harm our environment. We are blessed to have 2 bodies of water inside our town, right? We're bordered to the east by the Atlantic Ocean. Right down the middle, we have the beautiful Indian River Lagoon, connected by an inlet to the world. We are blessed to have that. We have to take care of that. So with all the things that are in the way of progress, I have got to honor both and find that proper balance. the beauty of our commission is we have two senior commissioners that have been on board for quite a while. There are three of us that are new. That's a perfect blend to try to offset any one particular penchant to go one way or the other. And we newbies are learning from the folks that have been on board. Both Randy Hartman and Jason McGurk have been very, very helpful and instructive with telling us how we got to where we are. And now we, as a group of 5, will look to the future. And
That's
so
awesome.
I hope that was the right right flavor for what you were looking for.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I can only be true to what I believe. Being a public servant and being a servant leader is the key to making the city win. This is not about a title. This is not about a position. This is not about one amongst others. This is a team effort by the commission to get us to where we're ultimately want to be.
That's awesome.
I think it's perfect, and that really resonates with Tim and I because we're all about team atmosphere, and everybody is, we're all in this
Rowing
together.
in the same direction. We want what's best for the town, for the residents, for the businesses, for everybody.
Yeah.
So we definitely resonate with that very well.
And that creative tension is a healthy thing. It's not pretty. It's like sausage making, and it's going to have some pushes and pulls. But at the end of the day, the right result will happen because of that creative tension.
Exactly.
Businesses are leaning forward. Residents are leaning backwards, saying, "Wait a minute, we've got it. What are you trying to do? Don't mess this up." The businesses are saying, "We started a business here. We need to continue the business here, and in order to do that, we need to grow our bottom line." So it's a careful balance between the two.
One of Tim and I's favorite saying is "no pressure, no diamonds." So that creative tension is spot on with that. So we look forward to seeing you grow in your position and the rest of New Smyrna as well, and the leadership that's involved from everybody top to bottom. So we are grateful for everybody in these positions in New Smyrna. So Thank you all, especially Mayor, for being here.
So Mayor Cliff, Fred, can I call you Fred?
I hope you do.
Perfect. That's
All
a
my
whole
people
lot
do.
easier.
That's what my hat says.
I know we got to get a couple of those hats.
Just-
We were
just
talking
Fred.
beforehand. Okay, perfect.
all good.
Fred. So you briefly touched on New Smyrna Beach in Florida. We got hit by these hurricanes. They both came back to back. What are we doing, what is the city doing for our residents and all of that?
Thanks for that. That's so important and so topical right here and now. We got hit harder than any other city in the county. We had more wind speed at 94 miles an hour recorded and more rainfall with 24 inches recorded than anywhere else.
It's just
and
unbelievable.
the
Yeah, I know.
duration of the first storm was so long that it just wore out the environment here. So between that and the second punch that followed that, we took a big hit.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 people were out of their homes with flooding anywhere from 4 inches to 4 feet in their home or in their business. There are buildings on the beach that were uninhabitable for a while because their foundations were unsecured.
Yeah.
What we're doing right now is we've hired an expert to come in, a geologist, hydrologist, to come in and explain why what happened to us happened, what we can do to remediate that today, and how in the future we can prevent that from happening. Be it ordinances, be it building codes, be it construction techniques. There are hurting people in our town. There are over 800 people that were displaced from their home. We're helping them get funding from state and federal resources. We want to make sure everybody's whole before we just move on to the next challenge the city has. I think it's very important for all of us to remain focused on that for the time being, and you can count on your city staff and your city elected officials being that. To that end, I've met with the governor several times. We have funding coming from the state. Senator Tom Wright, our senator for this district, is on board in helping us cut through the red tape
That's awesome,
to
yeah.
make the process more lean. And lastly, Danny Robbins, Tom Wright, and I have formed a leadership roundtable where we're not going to ping pong ball the issues. That's a state problem. No, that's a county problem. No, that's a city problem. We will work collectively to solve those problems. Thanks for asking that question.
That's,
Very
of course.
important.
And again, back to the teamwork, which is so crucial, especially in emergency times like this. I know we're past it, but people are still being greatly affected by it and still in the recovery process. So it's great to hear that you guys are working as a team and not being, well, it's not my job or not my problem type of deal. So we're really it makes us happy that we have that type of leadership and culture in the New Smyrna Beach area.
All about finding the best solution. And I hate to say it, it's not if but when Florida will have another storm. So it's good to have these ideas flowing back and forth, and so openly to have plans and things in place like that to really make sure that the residents and everyone are in the best position possible.
Right. Our stormwater systems, our retention ponds are some of the best in the state, according to experts that I've been talking to. All that said, having the storm surge we had at this last storm, having the amount of rainfall that we had, there was no system in place that would have protected us from that. In fact, I've seen pictures of Faulkner Street in 1924 with 3 feet of water on it. So this has occurred before.
Yes.
It's going to occur again. People talk about the 100-year, 500-year storm. It may be next year or the following year. We need to be ready.
Yeah, it's true.
Can't predict the weather.
No, you sure can't.
So we've talked about politics. We've talked about serious stuff, addressing the city with the hurricanes. Let's talk about some fun stuff. So let's really get to know you. Offer you a beer.
I'd
A little
love one.
Busch Light.
Love to have
3
a beer.
Busch Lights. Here we go. Let's get to the fun questions. All right, and got our little white whale koozies here, repping hard.
We got some at the office if anybody wants any.
Got to represent.
Brad, you can keep that one if you'd like.
All right,
They actually
thank
work
you so
really
much.
well too, yeah. So,
All right, guys. So what we're gonna do here with Fred is Tim and I have prepared some really heavy-hitting questions.
real tough stuff.
I know there's. So we're gonna gently lob the ball to Fred here and just get to know him better. Our goal is just for you to be able to get to know him better, feel comfortable when you see him walking down the street to be able to go over and say hi to him. So you want to lead the way, or you want me to?
Yeah, let's
there,
do it.
sir?
I'll hit one up first.
All right.
Number 1, does your family have a motto?
Does our family have a motto? Yes.
Like O'Doyle rules, like the old movies.
It's a word,
Okay,
and it's called balance.
perfect.
Not that we do it well, but you have to balance between hard work and hard play. And Amy and I struggle at that. We're so busy of late, and now with the responsibilities of the city, it's uncanny. We have not finished cleaning up from the storm, to be honest. Here it is
Got it.
February, so
Yeah.
we're working our way through that.
Awesome,
Same.
balance. That's a good one. I like. Well,
Balance.
this is kind of balance, right? It's kind of like an interview, but on a boat. But it's we were talking earlier. You might even be able to work from a boat. We just got to get you a mobile hotspot, and then it'll be really balanced.
Man, I love the way you think.
That's it.
Yeah, I wish we could do that too. I guess we could.
the
We'll
next
work around it. Yeah. So what is your favorite book?
Are you a reader? Or is it
Yep,
a magazine?
I am
or-
a reader. You learn to critical read when you're getting an advanced degree, like a PhD, and so I had to downshift into fun stuff. I'm struggling with the author, but there's a book called 6 Frigates, which is about the founding of the United States Navy.
6. What was it?
6 frigates.
Frigates.
Frigate is a
Okay.
type of ship.
Not a cricket.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it
6
was like
frigates.
6 what? Got it.
And my friend Ray Eddy gave me this book to read, and it is an amazing rock roll remember about how before our Navy, why our Navy, and how it's grown over the years. So I've really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. So when you do read, do you prefer? I mean, obviously, it's something that's informative. Gotcha.
I do.
Well, if the degrees don't give it away, I don't see
Exactly
you
right.
read many James Pattersons. Not that there's anything wrong with James Patterson, but I'm the same way. I like to learn when I actually read a book. So, loud neighbors or nosy neighbors, if you had to pick?
Loud neighbors,
Okay,
because they'll let me join in.
there we go.
Great answer.
I thought you were going to say neither, but that's a good
No,
good perspective.
loud
on it. Yeah, I
neighbors.
like
Because
it.
if there's a party going on, usually I'm invited. But if not, I can
Yeah.
always say, "Hey,
What the
You
heck's
can at
going
least
on?
sneak
Let's
in. They're
go.
not going to know you're there.
At least
so
you
it
know
works
there's a
out.
party going
Exactly
on. Okay,
right.
cool.
Perfect. All right. So what was your first job, and do you have any takeaway experiences from it?
oh my gosh, absolutely!" First job at the Daytona Beach YMCA as a evening desk clerk, and then the building manager. What I learned there was it's not all about the money. I made $2.10 an hour, and some of the best years of my life, some of the best core learning experiences. To give you a value system, they have a motto: body, mind, and spirit.
Okay.
And that triangle of important things. I just developed a whole lot of appreciation for people that give. Starting out the YMCA, I was a YMCA kid.
It's awesome.
All right,
Yeah.
Good deal.
Do you have a favorite cocktail, or what's your go-to?
I do.
Wine, beer, where are we at?
I'm a
Busch Light, probably
Bombay.
not.
I'm a Bombay Sapphire and a little bit of tonic guy with a lime.
Bombay
So,
Sapphire,
Bombay
a little bit
Sapphire,
of
a little bit of
tonic with a
tonic.
lime. All right,
lime.
cool.
All right, good
It's a
deal.
nice cool drink.
It depends on the day for us, you know. But
I got it.
you know, I've been an espresso martini guy lately. Those are kind of hitting the spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I could probably have one and be.
The tavern's got a
Also,
really good one,
Yeah,
the Bounty.
Old fashioned for me, but I like yours. It's a nice, cool, easy summertime drink for
Yeah.
sure.
Do old fashions in the winter. I've tried to drink a caramel colored drink in the winter and have the light colored
Clear
drinks in the
stuff.
summer.
Switch it up a
Summer.
little.
You bet.
So, talking about cocktails and feeling frisky, do you play any instruments?
I don't. I play the radio
Okay.
really, really well.
All right.
There we go.
But I used to sing in the choir at church.
Okay.
So I love
Okay.
singing, and I sang bass in the choir for a long time.
All right.
We won't put you on the spot and ask you to sing us anything, but
That'll be good for your viewership.
Right.
That'll come back.
that's what I always say. I'll scare everybody away really quickly. French fries or onion rings?
French fries.
Okay, all the way.
Yeah, French fry guy. I just love them.
Are you talking like thin French fries or like the
Yeah,
thick
curly
ones? If you
cuts
had
or-
curly, what do we got? Let's get more specific.
All right, so steak fries likely,
Okay.
and if they have that funny spice on them, you know, they have some kind of coating spice. They're the bomb. Now, or you can find those at a couple of our awesome restaurants in town. Off the Hook has it. Sherman has it at the Tavern. You can go to Merck's and get it. You can get it at a lot of places in town, but it's the bomb.
It's the
Steak
best.
cut fries, all
Steak
right.
cut fries with
Part
the
of my
seasoning
health
on.
program.
It is.
It's all, hey,
Well, you're looking good,
balance.
so it's working.
It's all
All
about
right,
the
so
balance.
speaking of health, you know, it's the Mayor's Fitness Challenge right now, and after we leave this interview, that's exactly where I'm going. We go out Monday and Thursday evening for an hour on the at the sports complex.
That's real dedication. Having a beer and going to work out. So you usually
Balance.
have one
We
beer and
got-
I'm
we got-
out
yeah,
for
that's
that.
right.
Balance.
Man.
It's all about
Back to the
balance.
motto.
Okay.
So sticking with the food theme, how do you feel about pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
Oh, no way.
All right.
Sorry, traditionalist. No way.
Hard nose,
There's
that's right.
certain things. Same with chicken or octopus. No thanks.
You
Just
want
So just
yeah,
a
pretty traditional.
dough and
guy.
cheese.
dough and cheese and maybe some pepperoni or something.
Love that part. Sausage is fine. Olives are fine, but.
Favorite band?
From
a tough
all right, so this will date me for sure. From my youth, it would be the Doobie Brothers.
Okay.
Grew up with Doobie Brothers. They came to the Naval Academy and played a couple times.
That'd be awesome
I'm a
to see.
Springsteen fan. Bruce could come and play for 5 hours.
All right,
Nobody
little
does that. And then as I grew up, get a little older, Buffett became my guy.
Very cool.
So I'm a big Buffett fan.
Just phasing through the years. you
Well,
know.
I mean, and that's ancient compared to what people are listening to today. But
We
But
listen
there's
to all
still
three of
timeless
them. Yeah, we
classics,
listen
so,
to
I
all
mean,
of them.
there- yeah.
those are the guys.
So what's your guilty pleasure? And we're getting all the secrets
really-
here. We
yeah,
told you
we're
heavy
really
questions
true.
here, guys.
If I could be on the water every day, it would be better than the best day ashore. I could get on the water, whether it's swimming in the ocean, on a kayak, on a sailboat. I'm a sailor by trade, or in a pontoon boat. That's my best day. And what I learned was it doesn't matter how big the boat, just being on the water counts.
As long as she
Absolutely.
floats, right?
It isn't, yeah, not the size. As long as it floats, that's it. As far as sports, what's your favorite sport to watch or play? Or
I like watching college football.
okay,
And for playing, I've been sailing for a while, but I'm a runner, so
Okay.
I like to run.
me as well. I do
Yeah,
the bridges.
You just got
Yeah,
done
cool.
doing the shark
I did,
bite,
yeah,
too.
I did my
under
first
2
half.
hours. Yeah.
But then I didn't run for a couple days, and I ran this morning about passed out. So you lose it pretty quick if you don't stay.
Oh, you do.
consistent
I
with
ran the
it,
Big
so
Sur Marathon a few years ago,
That's awesome.
and it just the training was intense. And so after I finished, I said, okay, that was fun. I proved to myself I could do it. And I didn't run any more marathons. Ran some halves, ran some
Downshifted
10Ks.
heavy there.
So,
That's how I feel after just doing the half. But
Yeah.
it's amazing the time commitment, especially some of these people that do these triathlons and all this, just to have the dedication and time to get all that done.
exactly
is
right.
something.
We have a town full of folks that do that. We had
True.
the Shark Bite 10K, the Shark Bite Half recently, and I think the number was they had 1,500 entries. So
It was a lot.
it was impressive.
And the gobble wobbles. We do them on the beach all the time. The FABA Association does a lot of them. So
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I try to run on the beach every morning.
nice.
It's a good back to the balance thing. It's pets. Do you have any?
We had 4 rescues, 2 cats, 2 dogs. One by one, they all went to puppy heaven or kitty cat heaven, and we're empty nesters right now for a season. and then we'll figure out what we want to do
So
after
there is
that.
kind of a sense of freedom to that, though. You're able to shut the door and not have to worry about what time you need to be home or getting back
Yeah.
and feeding the animals. And
Or
so-
leave the door open and have to worry about them running out. That's also
Exactly.
positive
My
too.
careers
yeah.
and Amy's careers have been about traveling. She was a career flight attendant with American Airlines for 26 years, and I was in the Navy for a long time, and then at American Airlines. And so we felt bad about ever taking the pets anywhere, so we had a house sitter all the time come to the house, and that fixed that. But that's an expensive proposition, so for a little while here, we'll be
Yeah.
empty nesters.
Awesome. And then as far as who or what makes you laugh the most?
Jeepers. I would have to say my kids and my wife,
Cool.
and not necessarily in that order. Amy is the funniest person, and she doesn't reveal that humor until you really get to know her. And so she's a stitch. So I belly laugh at things she says and things we do all the time.
Awesome.
So I'm sure why it's one of the many reasons that you guys have had such a long relationship and wonderful marriage is laughter helps get you through the tough times.
Good
too, so.
Lord, don't you know it? That's exactly right. And if you can't laugh at yourself,
You might not be
Yeah.
that fun.
You're the
That's right.
problem.
You might not be that fun, yeah.
oh, I think you got it right.
So I think I know the answer to this question, but sailboat or motorboat?
Oh, sailboat in a heartbeat.
All right.
I was captain of the Naval Academy sailing team, competed, and still compete today. Go out every Wednesday with a group called the Old Men of the Sea.
Sounds like a
and
fun
we go out
group
and
to be part of.
race every Wednesday. It's a way of life for me.
Awesome.
It's fun being out there again, being on the water, and just taking advantage of nature's natural resource there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any tattoos?
Hey, no tattoos.
All
Navy,
right.
Navy guy without any tattoos. That
All
used to
right.
be
We thought you had some big anchor somewhere.
Something, yeah, you
which
know.
says mom underneath it,
That's right.
Yeah, of course.
As
you
a
have
rite
to.
of passage in the Navy, I thought it was a requirement. Thankfully, after 30 years, nearly 30 years in the Navy, nobody made me get a tattoo. So,
All right. Very
So
cool.
You always made it back to port safe, I guess.
absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good deal. So age-old question. It's been a fierce debate. What city's older, New Smyrna or St. Augustine?
New Smyrna, actually. Folks left here, the Menorcans left here after some health issues and environmental issues and went up and started St. Augustine. Have I got that right?
We don't know.
We don't know. We know it's a debate,
It's not
but
really
now,
documented. Everybody in St. Augustine wants to say it's theirs. It's the fight for the claim to fame. So I think it's New Smyrna personally myself.
I
But
think so,
that's
too.
just me being selfish and wanting to stick another flag in New Smyrna for us.
So if
Well,
you go to
so-
the New Smyrna Museum, they will give you the straight scoop, and that's exactly the order that it happened in.
well, look what we just did there. In a matter of 60 seconds,
Myth
we just
busted,
messed
baby.
up all the marketing for St. Augustine for the last however many years. So sorry, St. Augustine.
But don't come here. It's boring in New
It's-
Smyrna.
New Smyrna's terrible.
Yeah.
Don't come. Yeah, obviously we're kidding. What is one thing you've tried that you'll never do or try again?
Great question.
You thought the first ones were going to be difficult, right? Those are the simple ones.
Yeah. We almost bought a large powerboat,
Okay,
and I probably won't do that.
got it.
I would like to rent. I would like to rent them.
Seems a lot easier. Take it out, you bring
Yeah.
it back. That's it.
Yeah.
It has gas. You're ready to go.
Exactly
no
right.
worries. Okay, cool.
Well, just like Sandollar, who is rented us
Sponsored
this
with
boat.
this boat for the
Yeah,
day.
exactly
Absolutely.
right.
Thank you,
Shout out to
Sandollar. Yes,
Sandollar
absolutely.
Boat Rentals. Thank you guys. We'll put a link in the description for Sandollar Boat Rentals as well. So please check them out if you want the ease and convenience of not having to trailer a boat, deal with boat ramps, fueling the boat, all the headaches and the non-fun stuff with boats. Check them out. They're fantastic, and you just get to show up and leave and have fun, and show up and
Enjoy
not
the
do all
weather and
the chore stuff at the end.
all of this.
So my last question for you, I'm running out of ammo here, is if you had one meal to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza. I'd
Okay.
probably eat pizza. Yeah,
All right,
I
I
love
could agree
pizza,
with
and
that.
we have great pizza shops around town. I've eaten at every pizza shop or had takeout from every pizza shop in town. I love that.
That's the thing. We've got a lot of Italian restaurants, but they're always, you go to each one for a different reason. So they're all delicious in their own way. And I've got two more to finish it up. So sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise on the beach.
Okay.
We have a tradition at our house on the water, on the beach at sunrise. getting the cardio, getting the negative ions off the beach, getting the sunrise. And then we break for the day at sunset on the dock and cap it off with a cocktail and
Good
talk
tradition.
about talk
Yeah,
about
that
talk about
sounds like a great
So if Amy and
tradition,
I are
yeah.
at home during those hours, that's exactly what we do.
Perfect. And then, have you ever had a nickname? What is it? How'd you get it?
Navy nickname, in the fighter community, everybody has a call sign.
Okay.
And so I was in fighter aviation for a long, long time. And so my nickname or call sign is DERF, D-E-R-F. Might you know what that comes from?
Derf?
D-E-R-F, DERF.
I don't. You might. Chris has got
no
his
idea,
license.
yeah.
I don't know.
It
What-
stumps many. It's simply Fred backwards.
I'm sitting here looking at your hat too.
well, this
I'm
way,
like,
yeah, we're
I
like
have no
that.
idea where that comes from.
It's something. Yeah, you'll never forget that. Yeah, it's very simple. So.
So Amy says that I know which people know you from which part of your life by the name they use. My Navy name was DERF. Back here when I grew up here, it was Freddie. So
Awesome.
depending on where they knew me, you could tell
Where
by the name.
about
How long
from where?
for
That's
the
awesome.
longevity of that
Exactly right.
friendship. So fighter career, Navy, call signs DERF, super exciting. Top Gun comes to mind. Do you have any experience? Were you anything at all Top Gun? Tell me yes.
So yes.
Oh yes.
1985, the Secretary of the Navy came to the Admiral at Miramar, California and said, hey, I've got two guys that are going to come out and I want you to help them make a film. So Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson showed up to make a movie called Top Gun. I happened to be at Top Gun, which for the Navy people, we call it the Navy Fighter Weapons School. We made the movie.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're like in the presence of aviation
Like a
greatness
like a
right
double,
now. so-
yeah, that double celebrity. Yeah, my goodness, very cool. And thank you very much for your service.
It's
not,
a-
we
yeah,
really
not only
appreciate it.
as
Thank
in
you.
the Navy, but also for our city here.
Thanks
you.
for saying that,
Yeah.
Tim. It was my honor to serve wearing the cloth of our country, and now to be home here in New Smyrna to give back to the residents, the citizens, the businesses who make this town so amazing. It just feels righteous. So I'm delighted to be
Awesome.
here. Amy and I have decided this is the last hurrah. I really will retire. I'm
Yeah.
a 3-time retirement failure. After this one, that'll be.
We'll see. We'll
that'll be
believe
it.
you when the 2 years.
Well,
we'll
we
see
know
what
you're not a
happens.
quitter,
All right.
so-
Yeah. We'll see.
Oh.
Awesome.
But
And-
really, we do thank you for being here, guys. If you do see Mayor Fred Cleveland walking around, please, say hi to him. There's a lot of good talking points for you guys to reach out to him about. So we hope you enjoyed this. And really, again, like Tim said, thank you for your service. There is so much more to you than what we went over. You've got a resume a mile long, so just incredibly intelligent and diligent hard worker throughout your entire career. So we're very excited and honored for you to be our mayor, and we look forward to seeing you in and around town.
Thank you so much, and thank you and White Whale for putting this on.
Absolutely.
This is an amazing outreach. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Red.
All right, friends, see you on next week's video.
Perfect. And then that's all I have for questions. Is there anything that you would like to obviously say for the residents of New Smyrna or anybody that may be watching this video out there in the internet world?
I'm
Oh.
so sorry.
No, you're good. You're an
Gotta
important
take
man.
it. You take it.
No. Let's see. Yep.